Yo, what's up, peoples? It's the Midnight Oil, the podcast dedicated towards getting an energy drink sponsorship. G Fuel, come on, you know you need us. My name is Ryan Alexander Lee. Some people they call me Ryan, some people they call me Alex, but this one guy at work he calls me Goku. Is that racist? I'm joined by my co-host Ben Brennan. Ben Brennan, is that racist?
I don't know. I've never met the man, but I'm gonna go off and say, knowing you, it's probably not. You're a very strikingly Goku-ish man.
That's fair. I do have everything involving Goku. Joining us today on the podcast is third-time bronze medalist Olympic skier K Singleton. KAYLOR, what's up?
What's up, homie?
I am sitting on my floor and recording a podcast.
Very sweet. I'm sitting in a chair recording a podcast.
Dude, this is so cute. We're both recording podcasts.
What?
You should be on the show sometime.
Bruh, it would be an honor.
Today's episode is blankets. We all have them. We all use them. Blankets. All right. What's you guys' blanket setup? Mine right now is I kind of got like a blanket on the bed that's like kind of a bed cover, but I sleep on it. And then I got like a thick boy blanket, even though it's summer. And then I got like a light shawl blanket that I'm using right now.
I've got like a lighter blanket on my bed. I've got the pretty thick boy blanket on the end of my bed, but hot take, emphasis on the hot. I like to be hotter when I sleep, so even though it is summer, a lot of times I'll use the thick boy blanket, even though it's pretty toasty out.
I don't know, man. I'm a single blanket boy. I've got my one gray blanket on my bed.
Okay.
But I am currently using my pretty sweet burrito blanket, but I don't use it when I sleep, so I only use one blanket at a time because I get very hot when I sleep. So one blanket works for me.
Ben, I'm about to back up your hot take because it's not exactly the same thing, but I don't know. I think if you sleep without a blanket covering you, you're a sociopath.
Yeah.
True.
You have no protection if, I don't know, a goblin comes in the night. You're like fully exposed. That's disgusting. Like, and I don't know. I sleep with the heavy blanket. Like the little blanket is just there for like, I don't know, emotional support. For the big blanket, it's for size reference, I guess. I sleep with the big blanket and like a fan running to keep me from like overheating. And my father is constantly like, Alex, it's the middle of the summer. Like the fan and the blanket cancel each other out. Just sleep with nothing. I'm like, you're crazy. Yeah, no. I like the thick boy blanket. It's very cozy, and I need that coziness in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine just sleeping, which, albeit we don't do that here, but if I'm just imagining what it would be like to sleep,
Yeah.
like I don't get why you wouldn't want to have a blanket, because not only does it provide the loving, safe embrace that I need to feel safe and sound and secure from all of the goblin boys roaming the night, but it's also like most blankets really soft, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Like it's a good experience to go to sleep to.
Okay. What if the blanket like wasn't comfortable? We're getting into nitpicky definition territory. Like, does a blanket have to be comfortable to be a blanket?
What kind of uncomfortable? Like scratchy uncomfortable? Like
I mean, like I guess I've slept in a scratchy blanket, like woolen, hand knit by my grandmama. But I don't know, like if I was in the wild, and in the wild tarp store, is a tarp a blanket?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
I was like,
He needed nothing to support that statement.
correct, just yes.
Yep.
No, I mean, I used to sleep during the summer, I would just have a sheet that I would sleep with. I would not have a blanket. This was in my old house, and my old house got like super duper duper hot during the summer. Um, and there was this one sheet that I would use every single night just as my cover, or as my blanket, and it wasn't very comfortable. It was kind of scratchy, kind of scritchy. It wasn't like one of those really soft sheets, really thin sheets that you would use underneath one of the big comfy blankets. It was just kind of this scratchy, uncomfortable mess. But I mean, once you're used to sleeping with a blanket, it's kind of hard to not sleep with a blanket or any sort of covering. So I guess you kind of just have to use anything as a blanket if you need to. I mean, there are all those memes of, my friend didn't bring me a blanket. Got to use the paper towels as a blanket. Funny.
I
So
have used
blanket.
a coffee table as a blanket before.
Under what context?
Under the context, I was sleeping on the floor, and I had nothing else.
And you had to stay safe.
I curled up under the coffee table.
But okay, was the coffee table like? Were you in contact with the coffee table?
It was like a couple inches above me, but like I could sense its presence there.
So like, is the roof a blanket? Is that the like home blanket that keeps my like home safe? Because like I feel like I understand, like if I had to sleep on the ground, I would probably pull a coffee table over me even though I'm not touching it. I would probably be like internally, this is a safety mechanism. So like I think I have full reason to argue the roof is some sort of blanket to me.
Well, I'll raise you a. Would the air conditioning be a blanket? Because the air conditioning is keeping you warm, as does blanket.
Ooh.
Though. Okay.
Just anything that makes you feel comfortable is a blanket, or anything that feels like home or safety is a blanket.
This is a metaphorical blanket.
My teddy bear is a blanket. See, but that's too close to a blanket, so it doesn't actually mean anything.
But the teddy bear isn't bigger than you. Like, I feel like a blanket has to cover.
Yeah, but the AC isn't really I think, like, I don't know.
I think Ben is referring to the product of the AC, the general warmth and goodness. I guess you could argue the product of a teddy bear is darn
Warm
rats.
happiness.
No, I think that's stupid. I think it does have to be. No, sorry, Ben. I'm gonna shoot you down. It has to be bigger than you. Like if you're sleeping with like a napkin-sized blanket, that's not a blanket. It's a handkerchief. Chief. Handkerchief.
That could
Ben,
be a
you know I'm
blanket
bad
for a like very small person though.
But it's not a blanket for you.
Are you a midgetist?
God dang it. Ah, darn. The dwarfist.
Okay. I was gonna say, I couldn't think of what the word might
Back
be.
to episode 1. No. Just because I'm horrendously tall doesn't mean I do it. Short people cool, man. Who else would be making me look so tall?
5'9" is the national average, and that's all I have to say.
Okay. Napoleon was 5'9".
Yeah.
Bonaparte. Dynamite, not sure. Bonaparte was 5'9".
Bro,
But, like-
Napoleon Dynamite was like at least 6'7".
Okay, but what if everyone else was like 6'5" and you just didn't have a good reference? See, this is why we need the big blanket and the little blanket,
Okay.
but not the napkin blanket. Yeah, he was Napoleon Bonaparte. He was 5'9", but like some guy wrote 5'2" when he died, and then everyone was like, he was short.
What a nerd.
Baby man.
Alright, going back to the size blanket though. I'm kind of liking the blankets as a unit of measurement. What is our standard blanket size gonna be then
Oh no.
for measuring?
I propose we go back to blanket history and we make Linus's blanket from the Peanuts our stand, because like is it a square? I'm gonna assume it's a square, so that it works. Like you could like have a blanket of measurement be like just one part, like the height of the square, but you could also measure it in like blanket meters, question mark, like or square blankets, I guess would be the term.
Oh,
Like, how big is your bed? It's probably about like 1.5 square blankets.
wait, you don't like your blankets to be bigger than your bed?
I'm thinking of Linus's blanket though.
Oh, lame.
My blanket, I have a pretty big bed. I'm a roller.
You do have a pretty big bed.
I roll. I kind of, I've been told I fidget. By who? I don't know. Who watches me when I sleep? But someone told me that.
I don't know. It's a deal breaker for me having a blanket that's not as big as my bed, because like in terms of uncomfortable blankets, that might be the most uncomfortable thing. It's like when your feet are out of the blanket and like all cold, but the rest of you is warm, and it's not
True.
a good experience.
Okay, when you say as big as your bed, are you talking about like my blanket is as long as my bed, but it's not like bigger than my bed? That's what I thought you meant. Are you talking about a blanket that's as long as my bed? Like, yeah, if your bed is, the blanket has to be bigger than you. Rule.
Yeah.
Rule number one.
Yes.
And if you're buying a bed that's smaller than you are, why are you buying that bed?
Bruh.
This is like geometry proofs all over again.
Because I'm poor, don't discriminate against me. I can't afford a bigger bed.
Ben, I thought we agreed not to have poor people on this podcast.
Okay.
But they make so much money from this podcast because we are so successful and rich and famous.
I know we only have to pay them like 3 cents to show up, but like, I hate intermingling with the poor. I can deal with short people, but poor people, ugh. I bet they buy their blankets used or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys don't throw away your blanket after every night.
You actually use your blankets? I just buy them and stare at them, then get new ones.
They're actually-
Decoration.
Oh, yeah.
Where would you? They're like the pillows, but like they go like the like obnoxious Southern mothers put on their beds, and then you have to remove them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, that's what you use blankets for.
That'd be great.
Yep.
See,
Just
but
stacks
whenever
of
I
them.
heard blankets for decoration, I thought of like an old medieval type stone castle with like the banners or the tapestries on the walls. Because some quilts are like super duper pretty. You could just kind of use them exclusively for decoration.
Yeah, I could do that. I could get down with some like tapestries in my house. That'd be pretty dope.
It would.
If I could have like a blanket tapestry with like my life story on it, I would never sleep with anything else. That blanket would go with me everywhere.
I got my girlfriend a 10-foot by 10-foot blanket for Christmas, and it was the best moment of my life to use that. It just kind of feels like you're swimming in a blanket, and it's really hard to find your way out. And I wanted to plug that and say that is the best blanket experience that I've ever had, was in a 100 square foot blanket.
The real question
end.
is, why would you ever want to find your way out of the blanket?
I know. It was super comfy. It's very soft. It was kind of heavy. And I kind of wanted to fall asleep, like, even though it was like noon whenever I used that blanket.
We can cite this as like the one good type of claustrophobia.
True.
Like this, I think I wouldn't mind getting lost in blanket.
Oh.
Just like, let's blanket as far as the eyes can see, boys.
I mean, the worst part about it would be whenever I'm waking up in the morning and I really, really don't want to wake up, it's usually me being uncomfortable that makes me like actually get out of bed. But with a blanket that you can't really get out of, you're just kind of forced to sleep longer. So I guess when I show up to work an hour late, I could just be like, sorry, boss. I couldn't find my way out of my blanket.
You show up to like, she's like, who the heck's coming into work in a blanket? Sorry, chief, just couldn't. I still can't find my way out.
My bad, dude.
So Ben, when you say you would have your whole life story engraved upon this tapestry, would it all be blanket related incidents on the tapestry? Because like if you sew like, I don't know, like when I was 8 I fell off of a rock. I feel like a rock wouldn't be a really like comfortable thing to have in a blanket. And like, what are you gonna get, like a miniature rock or like a big full size? Like that's uncomfortable to put in your blanket. I feel like if you were to chronicle your whole life in a blanket, it would have to be about comfy related things. Otherwise, your blanket would be full of like I don't know, bicycle tires and high school diplomas. That's not super comfy for a blanket.
I like to think that my life has been oriented around blankets anyway, and so it wouldn't be too much trouble to have a bin history that is, it's blanket focused, not inherently blanket exclusive. Just because, I mean, you can throw maybe some pillows in there, maybe like, I don't know, a cushion here or there, but blanket heavy.
Ben's top 10 comfiest moments. A blanket tier list.
How many types of blankets are there? I've never had a weighted blanket, but I assume a weighted blanket is either S tier or F tier. It's nowhere in between.
I have one sitting right next to me. I love it.
Uh-oh.
My brother has used a weighted blanket. Actually, I have one right here too. Yeah, his is right here. He's used one for like forever, and I've used it a couple times, and it kind of just pins you down on the bed, and it's I don't know, it's very relaxing. It helps you fall asleep really quick.
If you're in the mood for it, it's amazing. But I have to be in the weighted blanket kind of mood. But when I am, it's the embrace of a blanket, but it's like feels like it's the embrace of 1,000 blankets on you. But it's just one.
What do they weigh it down with?
Little round pellets of some sort. I don't know. It's not like a soft blanket, it's just like a really heavy thing. So what I usually like to do is to put
Kayla, you're doing this wrong. You're supposed to say something dumb.
Magic.
Wait, no.
Dang it, no.
Really?
Ben.
Pellets.
I mean, that was pretty stupid. I thought of like rabbit poop, but like, you say something dumb. Like, what's the... Here, we'll redo.
I'm sorry, I'm taking this too seriously.
Yeah, no, Ben. No, Kayla, you're sleepy. Remember? We're not recording this at 1 o'clock. No, this isn't staged.
They fill it with love.
Right answer. I love love. Love is probably about 10 kilograms each, right? I don't know. I've never felt love.
I mean, they don't call it a crush for nothing, It's pretty heavy.
You're speaking facts. Like it weighs upon you. My
Yeah.
heart is heavy for you. Oh my gosh. Love would be a heavier thing. Like it's not a light, fluttery feeling. If you're feeling that, you're probably like that's just hormones. You're not feeling love. It's gotta like suck a lot. It's gotta be like really painful and uncomfortable. That's real love.
I love blankets.
I love blankets too.
I love you guys.
Aww.
You are my blanket.
You are my density. Like a weighted blanket upon me.
I didn't know we were so romantic. We were like, it's like, it's magical. I've never felt this way before.
Except for that one time with a weighted blanket.
Do I need to get another
We don't talk about
podcast? Like, am I interrupting something?
It's not interrupting. This needed to be captured, to be shared with the people.
True.
Blankets bring out the best in all of us.
Yeah. I mean, why do you think we introduce, like, babies when they're born? You know, they, like, wrap them up, they burrito them in blankets and stuff.
And they also have stress blankets. Like,
Yeah.
when, like someone goes into like shock, they like just like throw a blanket, and they're like, "Yeah, you're fine. You just saw like 2 people die. Here's a blanket." And then they go, "Oh, I am fine. This is a good blanket."
True.
Like the ones that they give out, like the police officers and firefighters give out. I've always wondered what those feel like, cause like they're always like silvery and kind of look like tinfoil. I want to know if they're comfortable.
Ooh.
I have an emergency blanket that's not like, it's not like, oh, I need to snuggle right now. It's like a windproof, not like that kind of emergency blanket. It's like a windproof. I would imagine it's of similar quality. Like we handed them out to homeless people, and I was like, what if I'm homeless and took one? I'm kidding. We had extra. I'm so. I was skimping the homeless people. No.
I want
and
the
it,
shiny blanket.
But you know what? Where's my bag? Give me a sec. You guys podcast without me.
Yes.
He's gone. We can say anything we want now. So, quilts.
Yeah, quilts, am I right?
They're the best.
I've had a pink quilt in the back of my car for like the past year just because I'm anticipating one day I'll want to go on a picnic and I want to be ready. I have my pink quilt in my car that I always keep in there.
I used to have a quilt in the back of my car for the longest time. It was really dope. You could like zip it up and you could like carry it. It turned into like a little pouch. It was really cool. It was very handy dandy and maneuverable.
Bro, see, my quilt's kind of lame. It's like falling apart at the seams and it's got like random weird mystery stains all over it.
I feel like that's kind of the best kind though. Like the old
Like
love,
the worn down.
the softest.
Yeah.
Blanket opening ASMR.
I was gonna say, I don't know what I'm hearing right now.
MCR Medical grab and go warm emergency blanket, 87 inches by 59 inches. Blanket helps prevent heat loss and hypothermia when wrapped around the body, leaving the face exposed. It is also waterproof and can be used as a signaling device or windbreaker. Alright, you guys hearing this? It does sound like tinfoil.
It does.
Alright.
I was right.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, this definitely looks like a signaling device.
That's very loud.
I'm like, what is this?
I feel like I'm defending myself against the aliens. Like I've got my
What is
tinfoil
happening?
on. Okay. I'm underneath
No.
it, and like this is my blanket review channel
I'm
now.
in severe pain.
It's really hot under here, and I've only been down under here for like half a second. It's not.
I'm so confused. Are you just
This
curled
is
up
the
on the
blanket.
floor?
This is my face. It's not particularly comfy. I mean, but it's keeping me warm right now in like my room.
Mhm.
But I would assume if here you want to know on the blanket tier list, this one's like a lower tier.
Okay.
It does get some points for being kind of flashy though.
How does it taste though? Does it taste metallic-y?
Kind of like metallic plastic.
Mhm.
Like I can feel like my tongue tingle when I touch it. But like it also is kind of like plastic. Any other questions?
So do we think it's microwavable?
Because you want to get like that same warm burrito
Yeah.
feeling from it.
The dryer takes too long.
I don't have a microwave in my room, and I feel like podcast time wise, it would take too long.
Fair.
But like if I had to guess,
Just stick it in the oven.
we just microwave me instead.
Okay.
Like, why risk it?
Yeah, I like it. Getting straight to the point.
This hurts my ears.
I'm sorry. I just ruined all the chill vibes.
Crank up the lo-fi.
Lo-fi blanket noises to study to.
Soothe the pain. Oh god.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this in the morning.
I didn't discover like putting blankets in the dryer or heck sweatshirts in the dryer until like recently, and it has become my new favorite thing. Also, sweatshirts. I kind of just use those as blankets sometimes. Like, I'll maybe have a blanket for my lower half, but if I have a sweatshirt handy, I'll just kind of throw that on, and that's like a blanket for my top half.
I respect it. I do that sometimes too.
It's a proven effective way to blanket it up when blanket is very small, like my burrito blanket, which doesn't really cover me entirely.
Sweatshirts, they're named really well as like this is what a sweatshirt is, but like that's kind of a gross name, right? Like
Yeah.
we could do better. What if we call it like hot suit? Or I guess that's still kind of like the sweat, like comfy. I mean, we could just call it blanket suit, but then that would be kind of cool if we had blanket suits, like button-up blanket suits.
I'm just imagining you
Like-
having like a blanket as a cape, and I would be disappointed by anything other than that, because nothing could be that cool.
Well, I was
Blanket
thinking
necktie.
like fully tailored tuxedo, but it's just like made out of blanket material, and like I don't know, maybe the buttons are soft, and it's like a blanket suit.
Just make it out of the material that like a slipper might be made out of, or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, and then I could like show up to formal events, like, hey, you like my suit? Yeah, no, it is Coachella. And then, yeah.
But like, is a snuggie just the like pre-step to like the blanket suit? Like blanket suit?
I forgot about Snuggies.
I never forget. Never.
It's like the cloak. It's the Jedi cloak of blankets. Super cool, super functional. You look very mysterious, but also like kind of cozy. Like, this is my little cave. Do not enter, or else I bite. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. He bit me.
I I'm feeling very acute and like hyper aware on this episode. This is for the blanket ones. This internal commentary right now. I don't know why, but like I'm really hyper focused right now.
Like, I'm kind of going through phases of hyper focus. I'm also going through phases of want to die and sleep.
I'm just so tired. I'm so tired.
You fools.
I mean, I fell asleep before. I fell asleep before we started recording.
He did.
It's true. We waited for a while.
Yeah,
The midnight
I'm so
and
sorry.
10-minute oil.
He almost tagged his girlfriend in for him.
We did. We did though.
She was playing Undertale. I had to watch her, but it was so boring. She just kept petting the dog and making his neck grow longer, and she would not stop.
Is there a blanket in Undertale?
I feel like there has to be somewhere.
My memory databanks recall no
At all?
formal blanket introductions. Like there's beds, and there are blankets on the beds.
True.
But like, I can't think of a formal blanket.
I think the main character's outfit looks comfy enough. Like it looks like a little sweater.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't even think she needs a blanket. She just is always comfy with her little sweater and pants. I don't know exactly what she's wearing, but
You can change your outfit. Like you can, like there's points where you get like a tutu.
well, yeah.
What is the best blanket-based video game then? I'm trying to think like
Blanket Mario.
it's like he has the
what
tanuki suit, but like he has the cape thing. Kind of looks like a blanket. It could be.
It, Toby. And then like the plot twist where like it wasn't Super Mario Bros. 2. He was asleep. He was asleep in a blanket.
Guys, it was the live action Mario the whole time. Bruh, it was all a dream.
Hey Luigi.
Luigi.
It's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make that. That's a stone. Hey Mario, I made you a blanket, Mario. It's just a big napkin, Luigi.
We can use it
It's
to
a-
clean up after we eat the spaghetti, Mario.
Hey, paisanos.
I watched that TV show every night before bed. But I never watched the live action Mario movie because the Bowser in that movie scared. Or no, I think it was the Goomba or something. There's something in that movie that scared the ever living blankets out of me. So I never actually finished it.
Fun fact: both actors who play Mario and Luigi cited that movie as the greatest failure of their careers.
I think it's
Independently, like they didn't
Yes.
come together. They independently were like, "Yeah, we made mistakes."
probably
Well, I
because
think
they failed to make a sequel to it.
You're right.
Maybe there just weren't enough blankets. Guys, we could have been making Blanket the movie, but we were making Super Mario Bros. What are we
They're
doing
making-
with our careers?
They're making a movie, and like Miyamoto is like he's like the director. Like they're doing it. I guess through Illuminations, because they're making they've made a Super Mario Bros. Park, but like they're making a Mario Bros. Movie, and they were like, yeah, we're bringing Miyamoto in, and he's gonna be like, no, that Wahoo isn't Mario-y enough, except like he says in Japanese. I guess they would have. That would be really weird if they. Okay, what if they didn't cast like Charles? Is it Martinet? I never know how to pronounce his last name. Mario Man, Charles Martinet. I'm gonna get so embarrassed
You're gonna
on
get canceled.
the internet. they're gonna make fun of me.
This is
for not knowing
big
Martinez.
drama.
No. But yeah, like, what if they didn't cast it as Mario? They were like, yeah, and we brought in Idris Elba to play Mario, and
Barack Obama as
the guy who plays Medea for Luigi. No, he's not playing Luigi. He's playing Medea, playing Luigi. And for
Obama as Princess Peach.
Princess Peach, Obama, Michelle Obama.
No, Michelle
Okay, I'll
Obama
start.
will be Toad.
All-star lineup cast. We bring in 5 former presidents.
Wait, no,
And they're-
we have to cast Eminem as Goomba.
How has that been the best one so far? How has that one like made the most sense?
Oh, when he just gets jumped on, just like 8 Mile starts playing.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
It's a me, the real Slim Shady.
Look how far we've come.
We've evolved beyond human comprehension.
This is blanket adjacent territory.
Ooh,
Eminem
do you
probably
guys wear
sleeps with a
socks?
blanket.
Do you guys wear socks when you sleep?
Oh my god, no. You're crazy.
Okay. But it's
No.
like a blanket for your feet. I always have to wear socks as like a backup in case my feet ever like emerge from underneath the blanket in the middle of the night.
Nope. No, you're wrong. We're not friends anymore.
Yeah, okay.
This is the second worst crime after not sleeping with a blanket. I cannot believe, like, you would. Why?
I've crossed all lines.
Yeah. No, this is not. No more jokes. No more funny ha-has. We need to talk, person to person.
This is an intervention.
That's what we invented this whole podcast for. It was all just to set up,
It
intervene with KAYLOR.
was a like, what do they call it? Like a I can't be funny if I can't think of the thing. It was
sting operation.
It was a ruse. We set up this whole podcast. Delved maybe like 2 hours into logo making and all this. We just. Why do you wear socks when you sleep?
Answer the question, John.
Yeah.
Come on. I can see the fear in his eyes.
I can see the fear in his podcast voice.
I wear socks when I sleep, as I so carefully explained, so that if, Lord forbid, my feet emerge from the comfortable goodness and protection of said blanket, that there is an extra layer of protection on my poor, lifeless, cold, dead feet
But then that's
to
just,
preserve any
no,
sort of
that's
warmth.
too much. That's too much conflict with your tootsies, because then you got like it's contrasting with like the bed, and then the blanket, and it's like, and you're like building up static electricity, and it's just like, when like you could let your tootsies be free in like the safety of a blanket. I'm not saying like you're doing this all wrong, but you're doing it all wrong. Like, why not just sleep fully clothed and be like, oh, in case the blanket gets abducted, I'm now fully safe, and I'm wearing a safety harness and everything.
I told you I do wear a sweatshirt sometimes when I sleep.
No, I
It
have to
just
wear a
kinda
full
depends.
wetsuit every night before I go to bed. Full protection.
Deep dive into the dream world.
You never know what might happen.
Yeah, no, I whipped out my fireproof metal blanket that I always just pretend to sleep in as I record a different podcast. Telly, welcome to the After the Midnight Oil.
The wee hours of the morning oil.
So when someone calls you a wet blanket, is that a bad thing?
It's
Like, the blanket part, good. The wet part, I'm pretty sure bad.
no wet and blanket. That is the most insulting insult that could ever be insulted upon you.
I just assumed they were confused and were like, you towel. Because that's, like, I would never use a blanket as a towel. Nor would I mean, like, I could use a towel as a blanket if I was desperate. But, like, wet blanket, just towel.
Well, have you ever gotten a blanket wet?
I've washed a
like-
blanket before, yes.
Oh, like so I can like fall asleep doing absolutely anything. So one night I think I was like drinking water and I was holding this big old cup of water and I fell asleep while holding the cup. And I woke up at like 4 in the morning and was very confused and disoriented and did not know where I was. And ended up dumping this entire cup of water all over myself and my blanket. And let me tell you, water plus blanket plus me plus cold plus 4 a.m. is not very good. And the wet blanket that I was then underneath was the most uncomfortable I have ever been in my entire life because it makes it all heavy and soggy and very, very cold. So, as I stated earlier, wet blanket is the worst of insults because it takes something as pure and beautiful as the warmth of a blanket and corrupts it into something evil and just evil.
I feel like there's varying degrees of evilness in the wet blanket, though, you know? Because, like, there's a big difference in, like, the wet blanket that's been wetted by the KAYLOR spilling his water on it versus, like, KAYLOR spilling a glass of milk on the blanket.
Are you really about to dig deeper into this man's trauma bin? Are you really about to, like, shove a knife and, like, twist harder?
Yes.
Like, yeah, no.
Well,
Tell
KAYLOR,
me more about
I know this
experience.
is bad, but here's something worse.
Imagine.
What if we dip the
Relive
blanket in
it.
hydrochloric acid? We could dip the blanket in hydrochloric acid, and then it would be a wet acid blanket. We can do better.
You don't know true pain. I'll show you.
You were born in the blanket.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Absolutely.
I was about to say that, and when he said it, funny.
Funny Bane Man. I
But
do.
wet blanket just kind of means disappointment, doesn't it? Or like, God, you're so lame. Is that how it's typically used? That's the context in which it's used. Don't be such a wet blanket, you disappointing blanket that is wet.
I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever heard someone actually, like,
I don't
call someone a wet blanket, though.
I mean, thank heavens.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
A great war crime would be
The-
committed that day.
Thank the blanket Lord. Is there a patron saint of blankets? Like, because we got,
The Pope.
good point. He has that funny blanket cape
Yes.
thing.
And that hat, it could have a blanket inside of it. Have you
Maybe
seen the
it's
Papal
just-
Apartments? It's got a lot of blankets in there.
Not personally, but, I would imagine there would be a minimum of one blanket in said apartment.
I'd say easily 2. Easily. From my
But then
many
again-
visits.
I guess, so, like, the thing I've forgotten is, like, patron saints are usually for, like, problems. I guess it's not entirely for problems, but, like, you pray to the Christian God through this saint. But how would you ever have a blanket-related problem?
Lack of blanket?
I've been trapped in this 100-foot square blanket for 6 days now, and I can't eat. Let's call Percy Furbottom the patron saint of blankets. Percival, help.
Percival.
Then Percival turned you into the blanket, and you never needed to eat or drink again.
Wow.
Problem solved.
I did not realize the Catholics believed in blanket reincarnation.
No, yeah.
That's what heaven really is. It's just becoming a blanket.
I'd buy that, honestly. Like, I could believe that. Heaven's a beautiful place paved in blanket.
Why do I have this image of a TV show of like maybe it's a Mario I don't know. For whatever reason I keep thinking of like this very cloudy area with like quilts lining the floor and walls and ceiling. And I imagine like jumping around, and I feel like it's a scene from like a TV show or a video game or something.
KAYLOR, you're clearly getting confused with the Shrek spin-off Puss in Boots, wherein they go to the stratosphere and party around in the clouds.
That honestly might be what it is.
That's what you're thinking of. It stars Antonio Banderas.
And like who plays the egg? Oh my gosh.
I don't remember.
Zach Galifianakis. Is that right? That might be right.
Is it? Okay.
It might be.
I think I might be, actually.
There's no Googling of things on the Midnight Oil.
I don't believe in Googling this late at night. We stick with our wrongness, like Charles Matinee.
You know what?
And
It is Zach Galifianakis because I say it is.
okay, he can be in our blanket world. Zach Galifianakis plays an egg. Is there? But I think there's a blanket in Puss in Boots. You know, he sleeps, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
it curls up into a little ball. You know what? That's why cats are inferior to dogs. My dog always uses a blanket. I've never seen a cat use a blanket. They just kind of curl up and they're like, wow. But I guess dogs do that a lot of the time. But my dogs, they use blankets.
Yeah, cats kind of just curl up like wherever they just like a boop. There's a place. I'm now in that place. Dogs.
But dogs, they all just kind of have their designated little beds or areas or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're confused, Ben. There's not a place. It's already a fulfilled spot. Like, I have a notebook there, or I have, my new board game that I just got. Then that's where the cat is.
I mean, I don't personally have a cat that belongs to me, so I'm no expert.
You're right. We don't own the cat. The cat owns us.
True.
Other funny, relatable Facebook cat memes. Hot take. Are quilts really blankets? Because, I've never seen at least, maybe I just have, maybe my grandmother sucked at making good quilts. But, the quilts I've always seen, they're not, soft and like fuzzy. They're kind of like they're kind of almost just like they're kind of like solid. I guess blankets are solid. They're they're kind of like smooth, and like I've always thought of them as not very comfortable. And I've never, like, if you asked me if a quilt was a blanket, I'd probably say yes, but like internally, I would be like no.
I mean, I think it is. Ben, go ahead.
Like, I have this, or my sister had this butterfly quilt, and it was, like, the patterned side with the butterflies was not very comfortable, because they were kind of, like, rough, but, like, the non-butterfly side, it was pretty comfortable. Like, it was a pretty heavy quilt. It was not full weighted blanket heavy, but it was pretty comfortable.
I've never used a comfortable quilt. And I think a quilt can technically be considered a blanket, but it's not really a blanket that I would choose to use if I had better options or other options laid before me. It's just a worse blanket.
So, have y'all built any blanket forts in recent years?
No, but I know someone who has.
Okay, well, I was gonna start talking about blanket fort, but then Kayla reminded me of that someone who built a blanket fort, and now I don't know if I want to talk.
Well,
Like, cause that's, I feel inferior. Like, you can shame me about many things, but my inability to build as big a blanket fort as someone else, you got me. You know, I have oodles of money and am perfectly. I've got cool self-esteem. I thought, but you guys make a heck of a blanket fort over there.
Thank you.
It's good for it.
I'd like to thank the people out there, my family, the blankets at home that sacrificed so much to get us here. The inventor of the blanket, don't really know who it is, but he knows who I am. He knows. I'd like to thank the people who let us build the blanket fort in their basement. I'd like to thank everyone involved in the process who supported me along this journey, emotionally, physically, spiritually. It's been a long time
Blanketly.
coming. Blanketly, obviously.
Alex Lee.
blanket Lee.
It's like Michael Jackson.
Blanket a statement.
Blanket Jackson.
Blanket. Blanket.
I don't know. Going off of like blanket phrases. Have you ever heard of like a blanket statement?
Yeah, Caleb
No,
just
no,
said it
I've
like a
never
couple
heard of
seconds
that
ago.
before.
Did you just say that? I was zoned out, man.
That's fair.
I was zonked out.
I was zooted on blanket juice.
No, shut up, Ben. Have you heard of a blanket statement before?
Guys, do you know what a blanket statement is? It's a
No.
statement about blankets.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like where you're just going with this.
So
Tell
you
me
can say
more.
that this podcast is just like an hour long a blanket statement. Statement about blankets.
Yeah. No, I have nowhere to argue. Your logic is invaluable. Hey, Vsauce Michael here.
Today we're going to talk about blankets.
Invented by the Aztecs in 2 BC. Blankets.
This is a big drama.
What would I do?
Did y'all ever have like just one blanket that you would always use growing up? That was like kind of like, I think you mentioned Linus's blanket earlier. Not Linus. Wait, I think it is Linus.
It is Linus.
It is Linus. That you would just kind of carry around everywhere and constantly use on the couch when you're watching TV, and then like bring downstairs and use it to sleep with, and then blankets with you. Blanket. Very good. Because I did. I had a very dope. It was like an owl blanket. It was very big, very comfy, and it I could just kind of drape it over myself, and it would engulf me entirely. It had a picture of 3 owls on it. It was green at the bottom with trees, and then the top was white for the sky. And it was just this one blanket that I used nonstop for my entire childhood.
There was an uncomfortable amount of past tense statements in that monologue.
That blanket. We had a bonfire one day for that blanket because of how nasty it was.
Oh no. Okay, wait. It was a flag burning ceremony? Or are you talking about was it respectful, or was it
I'm just kidding. It's in my closet right over there.
But okay, now you've.
Wait, guys, no.
I feel like we haven't answered a lot of our questions. We just moved on to.
I burned it. It was like a flag burning ceremony.
No, shut up. I feel like we haven't answered a lot of our questions.
Yeah,
we keep moving on to new topics before we can really flesh anything out.
So, guys,
I just want to shelf
statement.
Who invented blankets and blanket burning ceremonies, and we'll continue on with KAYLOR's question. But no, we have these 2 topics to pull out. Okay.
Aztecs.
Yeah, we could put Aztecs in there.
They invented blankets.
No, shut up. We're talking about your question now.
Wait,
It's all about you, KAYLOR.
Wait, no, wait. I thought we were talking about.
Picture my booty up in 3D.
I thought we were talking about Super Mario Brothers 2.
It's all about.
Burn the blanket, KAYLOR. Do it. Burn it. Burn it.
I'm going to burn it.
So it's not already burned, is it? Hmm? We're unraveling the truth.
Like a unsewn blanket.
Guys, I've been caught. I've been compromised.
Deep in enemy blanket.
Solid Snake, but instead of using the box, he just uses the blanket to hide. He goes.
I think that'd be a pretty fair containment net. If you had a warm blanket and you threw it on me, I'd be a little confused. But I think instinct would be
if one of the weighted blankets. Oh gosh, there's what is it? There's an ad somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's an ad for big blankets or weighted blankets or something, where it's this one person who will just throw a blanket at someone. it's so relaxing. As soon as you like are under the blanket, you like immediately fall asleep. Or there's this person just like throwing blankets at people, and they like collapse under the blanket and fall asleep or something.
I want to imagine this person is just yeeting like super heavy weighted blankets at people and just knocking them out. Like,
There's like they kind of just slump over.
oh, I want that person to like break into my home. I'm just sitting on my couch, and they just like beam me down with a blanket, and they're just like, "Rest, child, rest. You've done enough."
Like a neck fracture. You fractured your neck.
See, but it's not
like,
even like a comforting. Just rest. It's okay. It's just rest.
It's not like an option. It's an order.
a command.
It slaps you across the face with a weighted blanket.
We should really militarize this, guys. Blanket. Like, just like, yeah, like a warm blanket. Like, you threw it on me, I'd be like, yo, I ain't about to commit no crime. I'm asleep.
Could we make a big enough blanket to like put it over a whole city?
Like a bubble.
Okay, Ben. Now it just sounds like you're trying to like suffocate it. We're gonna give them the eternal sleep. Here, have this. We're gonna put this blanket over you. It's gonna be you're gonna feel a little lightheaded, and then you're gonna go into the eternal sleep, Ben.
It's like chemical warfare.
Blanket warfare.
It's gonna be banned in 50 years. All the blanket war crimes.
They've invented blankets too comfy. Like, you just touch it, you fall over and die. Or you sleep. You sleep. You don't die. It's not poison.
Just waterboard him with a blanket.
Water blanketing.
With the wet blanket.
No.
It's too powerful.
It's illegal.
Wait, that's illegal.
It's illegal in every state except Texas. Classic Texas.
Who invented blankets?
Is blankets named after someone? Was there a Mr. Blanket? Was there Mrs. Blanket?
Dr. Blanket? Well, there was a Blanket Jackson, as I have said. They named blankets after Blanket Jackson.
Ah, true. I forgot about that guy.
Yeah. Good old Michael.
Good old
He, like,
Mikey.
Flung his kid over a balcony and was like, look guys, it's Blanket. Hey everyone, it's my kid. Except I'm sure he was screaming and upset and mad. But that's my rendition.
I would name my kid Blanket.
My kid wouldn't be worthy of being called Blanket. I don't care how good he is.
A little scrub.
You have to earn that right. You can't be given it.
Quilt.
He's just named Wet Blanket, and then
Over time, if he earns it, he can still lose a letter wet each time. I think he's done something good.
I mean, I'd have to assume it was was it a groundbreaking invention, the blanket? I said I'd have to assume, but maybe it wasn't, Maybe, I don't know. Probably some kind of cloth maker. Or cloth, so it was just Taylor. Taylor was trying to make cape, but cape too comfy doesn't leave And his wife's like, I haven't seen my husband. His name's Taylor. I haven't seen him anywhere in like ages. Oh hey, why are you sleeping in that cape, sweetie? I don't know, hun. It's just so comfy. I'd assume that's how it went down.
Sounds about right. The real question is though, was sleep invented before or after the blanket?
You make a good point. How were people sleeping without the blankets? We've talked about this.
True.
Maybe they were meditating before. Maybe we just got really inefficient. Well, actually no, because like history took a lot of years, and then we invented like robots, and then things started advancing a lot. But yeah, like I feel like the introduction of blankets introduced sleep, but then beforehand we were just awake the whole time. Are we talking about the very enemy of our podcast? We are deep in enemy territory. Eliminate blankets, we eliminate sleep. We record podcast till we die.
But then that wouldn't make our podcast special, because we're not right now. We're the only ones doing it. By the only means, I mean not the only ones. But
Shut up. We don't talk about that.
we don't talk about it. But then everyone will be doing it. We won't be quirky and unique anymore.
KAYLOR. Ben, I think we had our first pass out. Yes.
I'm proud.
Oh my god, he's down.
I thought so.
He is notorious for falling asleep.
He is. He falls asleep at everything.
His track record is like once a day. Can you believe that?
I really can't.
I was really I think I told you first episode I was really hoping for like a thump noise.
Mm-hmm.
But he's probably still holding his cup of water. We could see. I'm not gonna yell to wake him up. That would ruin our chill vibes.
Yeah. What is the odds he's just listening in on us right now? He's waiting for the perfect moment to strike. I really can't believe we got it. Honestly, I was like, after neither of us, like, we managed to stay awake the whole time. I didn't think we were gonna have anyone that would.
I'm in love with you. I don't fall asleep like that easily. Like, I'm very surprised by the fact that people can just like pass out like that. I mean, like, yeah, if it's been like a while since you've slept. Okay, to be fair, I am pretty confident he just never like gets a good amount of sleep ever. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't think I could fall asleep right now ever, which suits me very well for this podcast.
I know. I mean, I'll be honest, today it was a pretty long day for me. I was pretty busy and active today, so I'm tired right now. And I'm gonna have to wake up reasonably early tomorrow and do stuff. So like,
I'm so sorry.
I'm not going strong. Like I'm not about to doze off. But like I'm definitely like, dude, sleep sounds pretty dope. Like if I could just snuggle up in a blanket, I would take that hands down. I would pay any amount of money for some blanket action, but to be fair, I would always pay a ton of money for some blanket action.
Yeah, that could be a cool like theme park attraction. Would it be sanitary? No. Would it be like kind of creepy on paper? Maybe, but like in my perfect world, we would have blanket-based attractions. At the very least, like a blanket foam pit, like not made of foam, but like the same idea. You jump into a pit of blankets.
Yeah.
But then I probably wouldn't leave, and that'd be bad.
Nah. I think they don't understand.
Are you awake?
Blanket.
He arises.
It's gonna make rendering so much easier. It's gonna be this great blank spot of no talkie.
Oh, could you not hear me?
No.
I was just kind of saying blanket over and over again.
Oh, we thought you fell asleep. I think canonically you fell asleep and
Yeah.
you were saying blanket in your head.
Blanket.
Because we definitely said, hey, KAYLOR, can you hear us? And then you said,
Blanket.
okay, fine. I'll edit it in.
Put it in post.
Guys, I deceived you. I fell asleep. I'm so sorry.
He
This
played
blanket
us
that
like a fiddle.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't burn the blanket. It's right here. I've been using it the whole time.
KAYLOR, did
I
you
should've
succumb to the
known.
callings of the blanket?
Yes, I
The
did.
sweet lulls.
It's okay. I've been watching the time, so I think I only lost like 5 minutes.
No, it wasn't that long.
Okay.
But we celebrated our victory.
What did I miss?
We just made fun of you.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Solid. KAYLOR taking advantage of the Aztecs' creation.
Was it the Aztecs?
I don't know. I think your Vsauce impression cited the Aztecs as the inventors.
I did. I just wasn't sure if I was right.
Uh,
The Aztecs did a lot of things. They invented gold. They invented the end of the world. I wouldn't be surprised if blankets was another
oh,
one
they
of those
also
great
invented
inventions.
buildings.
True.
They did.
They invented corn.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's the Mayans.
They invented
Were
like
they the ones that
chocolate.
invented? Oh. I apologize to our Aztec viewers out there. We
Yeah.
are ignorant. I'm so sorry. You know how it is.
Scratch, scratch.
Alex, going back to our previous discussion though,
Yeah, that one.
as much as I would like to see amusement park rides, I would also love to see, you know, how, like in cities and stuff, they have like the scooters that you can like just kind of take and like ride around the cities and stuff. I want
I'm
that,
intrigued.
but for blankets. Cause like, it's like you can just like rent like these bikes and scooters and just take them around the city. You could have that, but like you just like boop, vending machine thing. I get a blanket, and you can just like pull up around like to work in a blanket. Then you go return it at the end of the day. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah. Man, we are really good at coming up with good ideas. Like,
How many
blanket
patents
machine.
can one man get?
did you thought this was a funny man podcast? Incorrect.
But like the vending machine would like need to have like a blanket warmer in there.
Yeah, no,
So it's
obviously
like
it was-
soon as
they
you
would
get the
stay-
blanket, it's like piping hot.
They would stay warm.
Yes.
Not like eternally, but like in the vending machine, like legitimately. If there is a vending machine, like blanket, no, sorry, not a. That's like a blanket, and you like tap on it, and then chips come out somewhere for no. No, I'm talking about a blanket vending machine. This could work. Like it would charge you based on like how long it took for you to return it to a blanket. And at some point, like you would be paying for the blanket. So if they never returned it, like you would have paid it in full in debts. So it's not you're not gonna lose money in this endeavor. It would keep it warm. You bring it around places, and then we did it. Free money right here. Take my money, corporations.
Blanket Incorporated.
Do they have scented blankets? Like scented markers, scratch and sniff blanket.
I feel like blankets just naturally become like people scented. Like
Oh no.
I can always
yeah.
tell like whose blanket is whose, because like everyone kind of has their own like distinct smell from like their laundry detergent and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. I thought you just meant like the general BO and
No.
odor that we exude as people. And you're like, oh yeah, that one's. But you're right. No, you really are right. Like I do know a person based on like their detergent, and when I meet a new person with the same detergent, I go, You are now this old person. You've lost your identity.
Y'all are one in blanket hood.
Robin Hood.
Robin Blanket.
Baskin Robbins.
Blanket Robins. I could go for some ice cream and blankets. Some like eating ice cream while you're wrapped up in a blanket. It sounds nice.
These are new plans for tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow was supposed to be. I now know what it is. I just like you're warm on the outside and you're cold on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because I feel like at the point when you're fully warm, okay, beyond fully warm, when you're hot, that's the point where the blanket is like, you might want to consider, this is where like you begin to lose body, like like you might be losing like the parts of your life, like your health is at risk.
Mm-hmm.
So the ice cream not only helps to like give the inside of yourself a little bit of love, because the blanket is an entirely skin-based endeavor. I guess it's keeping your internals warm, but majority is like external comfort. Yeah, the ice cream really adds a lot in like a contrast of like cool on the inside. This is good. What if we sold them in pairs? Like,
Ooh.
get your ice cream, and like it's themed around this blanket.
Like how they have like wine and cheeses that are like paired together.
Yeah, like pairings.
Yeah.
I could have like, so big, soft, fuzzy blanket. What is that ice cream flavor?
I don't know. Maybe like a strawberry? I don't know. I feel like first things first, you gotta address like your basic, like soft enough, reasonably thin. That's obviously vanilla.
Oh, you're thinking
Obviously.
thin. Okay.
Just your basic
I can see that.
blanket. It's like, it's the oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, that's probably a strawberry. You're right.
I don't know. When you get to like the more exotic ones though, like I guess like I could see like a shag blanket, It's like it got some very defined like blanket fibers. I could see it maybe being like a mint chocolate chip, maybe.
I was gonna lean caramel.
I get that. I get it.
I don't know, just because of like the color.
Yeah.
Like I imagine caramel color, like look color, caramel look, shag blanket look caramel,
Caramel. I'm more of a caramel kind of guy myself.
camel. Want some camel ice cream?
Yes, please.
Take some real guts to find out what I was talking about.
Do not eat the pistachio ice cream. It has
It
turned.
has turned.
Oh. KAYLOR's really missing out on cinema right now.
Oh yeah, this is his forte. His cup of tea. His
Je ne sais
give me a
quoi.
blanket related. I was gonna say give me a blanket related pun.
I have no idea what je ne sais quoi means. But
I don't know either. I don't know who Janet. No, that's a dumb joke. No, sorry. There comes a point. That one's too dumb.
you about to say Janet Jackson?
I was gonna say Janet say quoi. I don't know who Janet is. Why she say quoi? And I just said it, and it wasn't funny.
Okay.
I apologize.
I thought you were about to say
everyone.
like Janet Jackson and then connect it back to like Blanket Jackson.
Blanket.
And I was about to be like,
How is Blanket? Like
I don't know.
Blanket's what? Is Blanket like 14 now or something?
No, he's older than
Or
that.
was that 2008? He's older than that, really?
Well, I would think so, I thought.
I thought like the whole like blanket flinging his baby, or like not blanket, Mikey boy flinging his baby was like around 2007.
I don't
Maybe
think
I'm
so. I'm
wrong.
pretty sure it was in like Michael Jackson was big in like the 80s and 90s, I thought.
Well, when did he die? He died. He died. He definitely wasn't alive in 2020.
No.
So blanket can't be like one. He definitely wasn't alive in the 1900s.
Okay.
So blanket can't be 120. So we've got a firm range of like 2 to 119, and wherein blanket could be.
That's good enough for me.
I hope blanket's okay. I mean, with a name like that, he's set up for success.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a lot to live up to.
It is. It's a lot of pressure.
Weighted blanket.
I'm really feeling the weight, the gravitas of the situation.
So like, do you think like blanket gets a lot of snuggles? Because it's like, I'm gonna go cuddle up with a blanket, and he's like, hey.
I hope so.
We really do. I really do wish the best for old blanket. You know,
Seems like a good guy.
based on entirely his name.
Yes. And he likes pillows.
Elaborate.
Understandable. Yeah,
No, you're right.
fascinating take. I really like it. Oh. KAYLOR just keeps spitting out wisdom left and right.
I can't believe he said that.
Honestly, I mean, he's a little controversial, but you know what?
That's why we brought him on.
That's why we brought him.
Do you think there's like there has to be a presidential blanket
Yeah.
and like a royal queen's blanket?
I mean, there's like
I never
Abraham
I never thought
Lincoln's
about
bed
this.
in the White House. That probably has a good blanket on it.
Is that blanket like is that like a national treasure?
I mean, aren't all blankets national treasures though?
You're right. I'm sorry. That was insensitive. I guess what I'm trying to say is just like just maybe it's like I don't know. Just like I feel like that's just like something I never thought about. Presidential blanket.
That,
They gotta like make sure it's not like lined with lead or something.
yeah.
It's not like the president goes to go crazy. Royal Queen's blanket.
The Queen's blanket probably is really fancy and cool. Probably has like
How do you
jewels in it or something.
I was gonna say I don't know how you make a blanket fancier. Probably does have jewels in it. Maybe like lined with gold. It probably smells like good.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how much I wonder what's the most that a blanket's ever sold for. Like, what's the most expensive blanket?
Like practically, or like are we talking about like because I'm sure there's probably like some blanket tied to like a historical importance in which like no one would ever use it again.
Yeah.
But are you talking about like what's the most expensive blanket that people like that person uses as a blanket now?
More just in general, because I mean, like,
Okay.
would it be like Cause they're totally. I could totally see like there being like a Louis Vuitton or like Supreme blanket that's like stupid expensive, but I could also see like someone being like, "Oh yeah, this is Alexander the Great's blanket."
He used it.
True. That's how he won all the battles.
That you gotta have a good sleep foundation. Kids, don't record podcasts at midnight when you have
The world to conquer.
anything. Yeah.
We've already conquered the world, so we can do it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I saw like a Minecraft blanket that was like $23. That's gotta be on the higher end.
Yeah.
It's like it was like cool and it had like a creeper on it.
That's dope.
Yeah. Maybe like one of the rare collectibles. Like it was a creeper, but like they accidentally made it blue. That's gotta like.
It's like, it's instead of exploding, it implodes.
Yeah. Blanket.
Blanket.
Remember when like they added like you could like dye the blankets in like Minecraft?
That was a good
That
day.
was best blanket video game. We found it. We came
Minecraft.
back. I wasn't even thinking about it. Minecraft.
Obvious. It was
I'd
so
say Minecraft's
obvious.
cool. It
It
really
was in
was.
front of us the whole time.
I feel silly. I always feel silly.
I mean, I feel a lot less silly when I'm in a blanket.
There is something kind of, you know, very comforting, obviously, but like I feel like in being comforted, it's also like a sense of like authority
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm supposed to be here. I am confident. I am cool. I am comfy. You're all exposed with your wearing clothes and stuff beneath me.
Alex, you've heavily implied that you don't wear clothes when you sleep or are in blankets. Is this
Okay, I'm
true?
so sorry.
I'm a little confused.
No, I don't go full command. I have
Okay.
to be full like disrespectful to the
Okay.
blanket. But like minimal. I wear like undies and then like some shorts that are like very soft
Mm.
and probably gym shorts, I guess. I don't know. I think there's a very like there's a point like where you're too far, but I think there's a very like open relationship with blankets, and like I don't know. I think I don't want to get like too spiritual. It's just like free and open with the blanket. Like this is me. I don't need to restrain my feet. The blanket is now protecting me. I think it's a lack of trust. If I'm wearing a shirt, and plus that's also a lot of like cloth, and like that's a lot more like chance of wrinkling. Like the shirt crimps up, and now I got a little lump. It's not comfy. It's not cozy.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't judge someone for like wearing clothes when they sleep, because like you never know what happens. Like the house catches on fire. You might want some clothes to like grab all your blankets and run. But definitely, if you wear socks and sleep, you're a bad person. Satan wears socks and sleeps. I'm confident.
He probably pulls the no blanket wearing socks.
Picture it now. It's probably got like little pentagrams on the sock. He's probably wearing one sock.
That's the you see the thing. It's like I saw it somewhere. It was like someone's like they were like, do you put your socks and shoes like a sock on, and then shoe, or do you do sock shoe? And I was like, what absolute monster would do sock shoe?
I just put in my shoe and then put the sock on over the shoe.
Exactly. That's the intelligent option.
Because it keeps the shoe a finer quality.
Mhm.
True.
Because shoes are more expensive than socks.
Yeah. It keeps your shoe nice and warm.
Foot blanket that you don't
Bruh.
sleep in. I should clarify. Don't to our viewers out there. I'm just one man with a podcast, but I'm here to I'm standing on my soapbox and saying don't sleep in socks. Don't do that to yourself.
Unless you really want to.
No, don't.
Guys, I've changed all my ways. Don't sleep in sock.
Don't.
Unless you really want to.
No.
Bro.
No.
Okay, guys, I've changed my ways. Don't sleep in sock under any circumstances.
No. No circumstances.
What was that chicken noise?
I assumed it was like a demon that like the sock demon was like leaving him.
That was my waking up noise.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast. How you been? How are you, KAYLOR?
Sleepy.
I understand.
Did you dream of blanket?
I think I did. I feel very well rested. It's 2 a.m.
Jackson
but I was
or
like,
the blanket? Did you dream of Blanket Jackson or like a blanket?
it was like Blanket Jackson, and he was shooting a blanket gun at people, and it was hitting them in the faces, and they were falling asleep.
Pop quiz: how old is Blanket Jackson?
Blanket Jackson is deceased. I'm sorry to tell you.
That's not anywhere between 2 or 119, Ben.
We were very wrong.
That's such a wide range of number.
We were wrong.
No.
Not Blanket Jackson. Blanket Jackson now only exists in our dreams.
He only exists in Blanket Heaven. Oh no. Oh no. We're being made fun of on the internet. No.
Oh, I can feel it.
I can feel it. How... we went a full like 50 minutes. We went a minimum of like 20 minutes talking about Blanket Jackson like he was still up and kicking. We were like, I hope Blanket Jackson's doing good.
Yeah.
I'm
We
so
didn't
sorry.
hope he was doing good enough.
I'm so sorry, Pillow Jackson and Bed Frame
It's
Jackson.
okay. Blanket Jackson, it was a very recent tragedy.
It
Really?
was. I didn't know
I
this.
had no idea.
Guys, get bamboozled again.
No.
No. No.
No. No. We're never inviting him back
You
again.
can't keep
You
getting
can't
away with
joke
this.
about.
Stop.
You can't keep getting away with this.
It's just not fair. It's just not fair. He keeps playing with my emotions.
Guys, I'm gonna go fall asleep again. Don't worry.
You can't escape your problems by going to sleep.
I am legitimately tilted.
Dude, I was convinced. I was
Because I
convinced.
believe he could have convinced me.
Get convinced upon.
I'm mad.
He was at 119 after all. Blanket Jackson isn't real. Wait,
Who?
wait.
I bamboozled you. Ha ha ha. You thought he was real?
Guys, I just googled it, and this is really confusing, and it's a big drama. Blanket Jackson was born Prince Jackson, but was then renamed Blanket Jackson and Michael Jackson's other son, who was born Michael Jackson Jr., was renamed Prince Jackson. So Prince Jackson was then renamed Blanket Jackson. So he kind of flip-flopped the names, and people were very confused as to who was who. So it's a big drama, guys.
Big drama. How old was he though?
I don't know. I just heard that. I heard that on like some celebrity mag that was like, "Who is Blanket Jackson, and where is he today, and what does he say about this?"
And what's his favorite color?
But I'm not spilling the beans on what his age is. That's just gonna have to be left to your imagination.
2.5. Take it or leave it.
It's probably blue.
He's blue.
Oh, I said, what's his favorite color?
Oh.
And I think blue's a very blankety color.
Well, I'd say his favorite color is blanket.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good favorite color to have. Rainy day blankets hit different.
Like the thunderstorm blanket.
Yeah. With the movie and the popcorn.
And yourself.
Wet blanket, bad, but buttery blanket, pretty good.
Pretty good.
You just gotta put some salt on your blanket before tossing it in the fryer.
Then you eat the blanket.
Crunchy. It's a big tortilla chip. Why did you laugh at that?
It was funny. I'm sorry.
How dare you? It's fine. I fried my burrito blanket that you gave me, and it is now a big tortilla chip.
Let it be known to the court, I did indeed get him a big burrito blanket. That's good work on my behalf.
I do use it all the time. And I'm currently using it.
Do they give out blankets at peace treaties? Or am I like hallucinating that? I think I'm hallucinating that. That doesn't happen.
I mean, I
right?
feel like during peace treaties, people would exchange gifts, so I'm sure, considering that blankets are like the best Christmas gift of all time, that at some point, Genghis Khan exchanged blankets with Napoleon Bonaparte and
Genghis
Benito
Banky.
Mussolini.
Genghis want his banky. Give me my banky. Genghis mad. He had like all those terracotta soldiers.
Genghis commit genocide.
Genghis take the Mongols and
Steal the blanket for myself.
Great Wall of China. Keep Blanky inside. We've talked a lot about death on the episode about blankets.
Yeah.
And dictators. Well, not dictators, but I feel like Napoleon's come up at least like 3 times.
We've had a lot of like world leaders come up.
A lot of evil tyrants.
Historical figures.
Like Blanket Jackson.
Like Blanket Jackson.
Made history with his
Being named Blanket.
kids. So, Linus's blanket. That's like that's a pretty well-known blanket. That's a pretty famous blanket. But like, are there any other celebrity blankets other than Linus Blanket and Blanket Jackson? Like well-known blankets of cinema.
Do we count Aladdin's carpet?
Oh.
Magic carpet. Is that a blanket?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, all magic all magic carpets look super comfy. They're like,
Dude.
they're not really carpets. They're just like big blankets.
Bougie blanket.
Bougie blanket. Like a comfortable quilt.
Oh, there's we count the blanket suits. Lou in Pixar, there's a blanket suit, and he has like he slinks around. He's like it's the Lost and Found short that Pixar did. So that is a famous blanket. Yeah. That one.
Harry Potter wears the invisibility cloak, but it's really just like a blanket.
Yeah.
It's totally a blanket. Don't you lie to me.
Invisibility blanket.
Dude. Then I wouldn't have to ever get up. You can't find me, boss.
Just blanket.
Just the visibility blanket. Not the This is just my visibility blanket.
What if we invented blankets that like gave you certain abilities? So like, you could put a blanket around it and you could fly, and then you put another blanket on it, and then you spontaneously combust.
Well, this blanket gives me the ability to go to sleep.
Bruh. See, when I've fallen asleep, I've just been switching blankets. I have my talkie blanket, and then I switch to my go to sleep blanket, and boop, it's blanket.
You're cheating on your blankets?
Dude. The biggest drama.
My blankets and I have an open relationship.
Okay.
That's what they all say. I guess you could say he's been sleeping around. Comedy. This has been the Midnight Oil. I said a potty joke. I'm so sorry, parents. I don't know. Thanks for falling asleep multiple times.
Yes. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
But it was very fitting though, because it was about blankets, and
it was about blankets.
I was with my blankie.
I'm so sorry. I regret making that joke, but God, was it so funny. The blanket gods will forgive me.
It's okay. I made a joke earlier that will probably be cut out.
No, I'm leaving it in.
Oh, guys. Okay.
We are not about to. I'm not about to. Yeah, we will stand up for what is right, that means publicly humiliating you.
This is Midnight Oil Uncut.
It's been, I've done 3 for 3 every single time. I've said it every single, or 2 for 2. It's about to be 3
ice
for 3.
cream though, and I was like, oh crap, dairy.
Shut up. dang it. we went the entire episode without mentioning Latin, and then you did. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it every time, and I'm gonna look stupid because every time they're gonna be like, "No, you're dumb, KAYLOR. You wanna." I'm gonna open this broad. You wanna plug anything? Last two people, it was their social, like, not security number. They're like Instagram.
Guys, my social security number.
No, just what plug anything right now.
There's a Japanese filmmaker by the name of Akira Kurosawa. Go watch everything he's ever made. Ingmar Bergman. I was recommending his films to a history teacher the other day, and he was like, "Wow, this is really cool. You should go watch Scenes from a Marriage and Wild Strawberries." And yes, because they're very serious movies, but it's also in Swedish. And Swedish is like the stupidest sounding language of all time. It's like I don't know. It's funny.
That's racist.
You know what? It's sweet.
That's racist.
To all of our Swedish listeners, Norway's better. Yeah, I said it. You can follow me on Facebook at Simp for Totoro 413, and on Twitter. What am I on Twitter? Like Buena Vista 413, and then like my Instagram's the joke 040103. So
Blanket.